All right, welcome back. Thanks for logging on and tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe. That way, you can keep on coming back over and over to hang with us and our fantastic creative guests in the arts and entertainment world. I am Allison Ingraham, and right now we are in Little Falls, New York at the Art Walk exhibits, and we're hanging with artist Lutz Scherneck. Thanks for hanging with us.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
So, if Harry could, after, we're going to have him get a B-roll of your artwork on the wall over there. And can you tell us a little bit about the piece?
Well, it's sort of typically what I do. I do a lot of non-representational work. It's not a literal description of something that you see in nature, but I'm influenced by things that I do experience in my life, and its forms and color and shape and texture, and even things that aren't so visual like sounds. They all relate to what I've experienced, and when I work in the media of paint, just like a musician plays with music, different tones, I use those different elements and create what I feel, what I would like to see the public understand on what excites me, what I think is interesting.
Oh, that's fantastic. So how is your personality reflected in your artwork?
There's no way around it. Any artist who does anything and expresses themselves in any media, it's his personality. Good, bad, or happy, sad, or indifferent, it's all there. And whatever you use, whether it's sculpture or painting or music or whatever, it really expresses what the person feels in a different media, so people can see it and get in touch with a person's own experience, what he's experienced in his life, or maybe something that's very immediate, or maybe it's something over his entire lifespan, or everything in between.
Okay. Are there any particular artists that have influenced you?
I'm really fond of the French Impressionists. All the 20th century American abstractionists. I really like the freedom that they're showing. There was no longer an obligation to have a recognizable image anymore. It was purely working with paint and what it can do and what color can do and how different emotions can be derived from those things.
Right. What do you think are the most inspiring things to help you create your artwork? Just your...
Well, most artists, to me, it's a challenge. When I grew up and when I went to high school, I was really... I was good in the sciences. I was good in mathematics. Those are things that I could sort of figure out. When I went to college, I was sort of thinking I could do things in the creative field of technology, of maybe industrial design. But then I started getting involved looking at actually it was the French Impressionists, and I was looking at those paintings, and when the art movement sort of came to the United States, and we see a lot of the artists that were U.S. based, how they dealt with artwork, it was really fascinating because I couldn't understand it. And so that's sort of my goal when I try to do something. I try to push in the direction of things that I don't understand, things that really don't make sense but have that potential of making sense, and I try to make it have a meaning. When it has a meaning on the canvas, then it all sort of starts to work. How to get there is sort of difficult, but that's part of the excitement, part of the challenge, and
When did you begin your art career?
I guess really seriously, I went to Syracuse University, School of Visual and Performing Arts. I decided to major in fine arts and painting. After 4 years, I thought I could do some painting. I had a lot of life to live yet, and I took advantage of that. So I really didn't pursue my art that much because it's rather demanding, and it's not really great art is not readily accepted. It takes some time for people. I always thought that the artists, the really avant-garde artists, they're on the forefront, and everybody looks at it and says, I'm not sure I understand. There's something there, but give me some time to digest it. And that's one of the problems, is because those people, they are not readily accepted, and generally they don't make a heck of a lot of money. So it's hard to earn a living doing that. So it took some time before I could do that. So around the change of the century, I started taking it seriously. So I've been pursuing from then on.
Good. What kind of tools do you use? Do you like inks, paint, oil, a mixture?
Currently, it's acrylics. Acrylics is the easiest. It's the cheapest. It's the most flexible. Oil paint has always been problematic. It's rather a fragile medium. Oil paints have rules and regulations on how to apply them. Acrylics, you can just do whatever you want. It's water-based, so it's generally non-toxic. The pigments may or may not be a little bit, but in general, it's very easy to use, easy cleanup. Tools, I use anything that's available. Brushes, rollers, paint squeegees, palette knives, rags, paper, plastic, fingers, feet.
Goodness. Can you describe the first time you realized that creating something was really what you wanted to do?
That's sort of, when you're an artist, you always think that you know what you're doing. And I still get that effect a lot of times because I do a work and I say, oh, this is great. Oh, I can't wait till the paint to dry. And I look at it the next day and I say, what the heck was I thinking of? Because it's not working. It's just not working. That's a problem with art. It's emotion many times gets involved, and that doesn't make it better. Artwork has to be profound, and that's really the deep thing. And you have to be very sensitive towards that. If you're not sensitive towards that, it'll pass by, and your emotions can just overrule, and you lose the whole thing. So you have to be patient. You have to look at it, and many times it'll just sneak up on you and surprise you, and you just realize, I got it. I know what to do. I know how to finish it.
Fabulous. Do you have any creative rituals that you do?
Creative rituals.
Yeah, like, I don't know, drinking a beer and looking at an empty, plain canvas, and then you're just get your inspiration from.
Empty canvases are very scary, especially if you're not working from a subject. I've done landscapes, I've done portraits. Those are generally easy because you know what you're going to be doing. You already sort of have a format set out, a landscape, obviously a horizon line, things either in the back or in the front. It's sort of set up, and all you have to do is play with those elements. A portrait, again, it's a figure with some things around it. That's an easy start. When you do non-objective work, I don't know. Tell you what I do most of the time when I start. I go through and I'll mix up some paint, some colors that I like. I say, I like this color. Oh, I haven't used this color yet. And I'll have half a dozen or so pails of color, and I'll start working. Sometimes I'll use all of them. A lot of times I won't. but that's how I start. Once a color is put down or something is put down, then I'll work off of what I've done. So everything I put down will be a clue to what I'll do next, because everything that you do affects everything else that you've already done. So you're constantly stacking those elements up on top of one another, trying to make that tower that will be the end result.
What's your most favorite thing that you've done so far?
Favorite things sort of appear. I have a lot of paintings. I have it in my studio. Many of them, just because of space, I can't have them on stretcher frames and they're rolled up. There's many times when I go through my archives and unroll some things and I see things, and I realize at that moment how good or how bad that was. I think that's always surprising. Good or bad is really not that important, other than I recognize that it is good or bad. And that's pleasantly surprising that I can see it at that time. That means I learned something, and I'll get and you'll get better from that.
Can people find you or your art?
Oh yeah. Here locally, I have it displayed. I have it at Canalside Inn, Beardsley Manor. I have a show coming up at Earlville Opera House in November. It'll be a one-man show.
Do you have a website or anything?
Well, right now I have a Flickr website. So if you Google my name it should show up on Flickr, and most of my paintings are available right there.
Good. Well, guys, it's been a blast. We've had so much fun hanging with Lutz
Scherneck.
Scherneck. He got rid of my thing. Cut. My name. Okay. Action. Well, guys, it's been a blast. We've had so much fun hanging with Lutz Scherneck. I'm Allison Ingerham, but before we go, we would like to thank our partners at Famous Faces and Funnies, Space Coast Comics, the Florida Book News, and Word Fire Press, and our great friends at Some Unique Magazine. These are the folks that share our videos all over the World Wide Web, and we hope you will too. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, let us know what you think of today's show and our guest. You can also check our guest links below. Remember to subscribe, log in, and stay tuned to see who we're hanging with next. That was awesome.